Holy crap, let's talk about this master level. So tonight I did 2 runs, a Nightmare no super weapons, which you're seeing here in the Archvile room, and then a UN clear. So let's talk about a few arenas. So this is the dreaded double Archvile room. Now, Jason O'Connell, you left id Software and you went out with a bang, dude. Like, this is really tough. These Archviles are behind this thing. Oh, by the way, there's spoilers in this video. The Archviles are behind the wall, and you pretty much have no way to get to them. So my first run, which was pretty much a blind run, more or less, I was not using BFG or Crucible, and it was really freaking hard to survive. So you have the Tyrants, which are super tanky, and if you are using your supers, you can Crucible them out. I had a tip from chat tonight. It was super helpful. And really looking at Doom 2 and how the Archviles function helped me out in this fight, because, hey, I'm not a boomer, but I'm an old millennial, and knowing that just treating it like a Doom 2 Archvile went a long way. I also knew the master level, the fan-made one that myself, Elizabeth Neofata had involvement with, that tunnel down below is actually really useful too. Now, I'd heard about Zero Master going into the middle there, and he did a no HUD UN clear on day 1, and also my buddy Zerk, also one of our Discord server mods, did it on console with no HUD on UN. Ooh. I don't know, that's crazy. I like having a HUD for the same reason I like driving my car, like not covering up with a jacket or whatever. You gotta see what you're doing and how fast you're going, right? It's a Doomslayer, he's a Ferrari. So finally, when the walls bust down, you get a chance to lay out the Archviles. I mean, like, I wish I would just throw a nice little ice bomb, little pew pew, lock on burst, whatever, man, and be done with it. But you can't with all this other crap in your way. Thank you, Chain Gun Shield. You know what? I've been playing without any super weapons or Chain Gun Shield before this to prepare with the randomizer and all that stuff. And when I got into this level, I'm gonna tell you a little secret, okay? When I got into this level, I'm like, holy crap, how am I gonna do this without super weapons and Chain Gun Shield? Props to those that can. Somebody, if you do it, great, because I loved falling back on this thing. There's just so much coming from any angle. We're talking like classic Doom levels of fodder. It's really insane. And not to mention, you know, these enemies are pretty much buffed here, so when you're fighting around this room, the Archviles, keeping in mind too, breaking the shield is a blood punch breaks the shield, but it's just so hard to get in there and do stuff. Like, I stuck around the back here, and that's what she said, and then sorry, and then I gotta keep it clean, and then I ended up, I don't even know, man. My brain is shot right now, okay? It's like 1:20 in the morning when I'm recording this, and I did the 2 runs back to back, and they took me like an hour apiece, and now I want to record this little post commentary. So now this fight's over, let's talk about another very choice area that I want to go to, and that is everyone's favorite coin room. So yes, this one on Ultra Nightmare was tough. I used the BFG and the Crucible. See, there's getting up over the middle. The reason this one's so hard is this. When you get to the Cyber Mancubus buff stage, you really want to make sure that you have like an ice bomb and blood punches and all of that to deal with them. It's just a little different than the Cyber Mancubus big part in the Super Gore Nest, but that's the problem. You have so much stuff that wants to eat your plasma. You have, I mean, look, you got shield guys, and then you have the carcasses here, and this map really loves Doom Hunters and carcasses and prowlers, and it just has all the stuff that wants to eat your plasma. So stay airborne, stay focused, stay committed, as the UAC tells us to, and it's not propaganda, right? It's totally not propaganda. And just bash them away. Go to SSG Ballista, it's fine. Remember, 1 pip from the D-Blade will take out the Carcass Prowler and the shield. Something else that very much helped me out in this map when I was setting up D-Blades was that a Whiplash or a Spectre Whiplash, 2 D-Blade pips will stagger them and 3 will kill. So if I didn't have enough time and I had a whole big line, like in the one outside arena, that I can't even think right now, after the Cue Ball and the Dreadnought Mancubus, you can set it up. And if you only have time for 2 pips, you can get rid of all the other crap in the way too, all the fodder, and still get the Whiplash staggered. When you use Days Confused, it's really nice too. So back to the coin room before I get too off track. I am getting a little bit of lag here on my stream, so I was actually trying to record and stream at the same time so I could get a better quality. But see, I'm setting up a very laggy D-Blade right here, and the Prowlers are vicious, man. You gotta watch out. Now here's the section, here's the beautiful section. Just BFG it. Just use a BFG. Seriously, it's worth it. Route it in. You don't need as many BFG early level as you do late. Route it in, make it happen, make sure you have 1. Notice I still have my 2 Crucible. The Crucible is downstairs in what used to be the Archvile room. You can go back and get that if you don't need it. It's what I did. And, you know, just keep going that way. So keep moving, and you'll notice here in a second, I wanted to save another BFG, but I may use it. Take a guess. Did I use it? Did I not use it? Still up to you to figure that out. But the buffed enemies are tough. And I like, personally, the big, wide-open arenas like the final arena. Chain gun shield out of that really lets you move around a lot. The tough confined spaces are a little rough. I just did a BFG. It's better safe than sorry on UN, right? You don't want to die. But learning how to go into that chainsaw and then instantly come out for that chain gun shield, because think about this way. This is a cool little tip. You really need to pay attention to this one if you don't know it already. So the chain gun shield recharges every 4 seconds. Chainsaw takes 3. So you have a 1 second buffer. So if you play your cards right, you can pretty much always come out of a chainsaw with a chain gun shield. So for that reason, you don't want to use your shield into a glory kill, kind of like I'm almost doing sometimes, being a little Rambo here, if you know what I'm talking about, if you're older like me. So finish out this room. There's one more I want to... Well, actually, no, there's a few more I want to talk about. I want to talk about a few more. Super spin to get the coin. Next up, the Atrium. I was so much hoping and praying that they would do something with this arena. And it's cool that they have the extra traps. When I saw those in the trailer, I was like, sweet, dude. These are going to look really, really cool. I like this a lot. And, of course, they're here. So the Atrium fight had so much potential. And to add the jump pads and the cool little statue things, and the new little flying, they're not flying, whatever, the aerial things that shoot beams down, hazards, yeah, they're hazards, whatever. And that's pretty cool. I was just hoping they'd do something with this arena. So much potential in it. It's so huge, it's almost like multiple parts, and even though the second time through, which we do need to talk about, I couldn't find the buff totem. Well, what this fight does is that, I know a big spoiler, you actually, at the final arena, go back to the same spots that you were earlier, but they were redone. I'm going to show another one here in a second where I was a big dummy, but I had to beat it anyway. I was like, there's no fodder, there's no fodder. Well, you'll see. Stick around. You won't want to miss that, my silliness, idiocy. But you finish out this arena, do it a little bit. I'm just going to show you just a second. This was cool, too. Check this out. The Bridge Marauder. This is actually part of the Master Level mod that we were working on. And I actually suggested to Fada to have a Bridge Marauder here. I don't know, whenever we were making it some months ago, because it's such a narrow space. My logic for having it here was such a narrow space, and it really forced you to meat hook up and over him like I was doing there. And they made it more confined, so good thinking, Jason. I like that. Of course, I'm a little biased. Anyway, this section was really vicious. Now, the thing about the Marauders that I found in this level is that they don't let you set up your one cycles very well. This arena in particular was so hard because normally I like to do the old school, outdated Arbalist, double frag, double lock on for the Marauder 1 cycles, but it's so freaking hard to set up because you have the dogs coming after you. You have the Tyrants, which are basically like towers. If you ever play any games like Clash of Clans like I do, they're just towers, and you got to get rid of them. But all the fodder gets in your way. You can see right there, the fodder was getting in my way. I still tried to go up and around him, like Scythe Map 3, and you can't set it up very well. You're either going to get bum rushed by a Prowler, or the imps are going to get you. So I resorted to sticky spam. I'm like, hey, if there's 2 Marauders in a room, typically like one of the best ways to deal with them is flat out sticky spam. And even if there's one, this way, it's crowd control because you're dealing with all of the other fodder that's around you, getting rid of them, and you're also dealing damage to the Marauder as well. Ammo is also something I ran out of here, as you can see. I debated on leaving some of the Prowlers actually in stagger state because I had Dazed and Confused on, just so they could just get out of my way, man. And I tried to play it better safe than sorry on my UN, but I really think this one is tough because it's not level. There's Prowlers everywhere, imps, the things that make Marauders difficult. They capitalize on that. Now, as you'll see here in just a second, I yoink that Soul Sphere because I'm not taking a risk. I knew what was coming up ahead, but it's a little back here, and I find that there's still a little more Marauder left, so I'm bringing out my little, I can't even think of what's called right now. It's a shotgun, combat shotgun, whatever. And there's just the dogs. If you have a dog, have a single pip of Heat Blast charged up, pre-charged, because that single pip of Heat Blast gets the dog. He ran outside of that, so don't forget about that. That might be a good tip. Don't have to aim or anything, just 1 pip of Heat Blast. So here, I'm always running low on ammo. I really need to work on chainsawing better. And there is one other section that's pretty funny that I want to show you after this that I was really silly on. But this area here, I was really hoping when they came out with this master level that they would basically make us fight in those areas that you could normally skip past, because they're good. They're fine arenas. They're good for fighting. Like the last one I just showed you, and well, no, I don't think I showed you on this one, but that one before that and this one, they're good, perfectly fine arenas. Why not use them at their full potential? And so Jason, good thinking on that. I support that decision for sure. And my monitor just went black as I'm recording. Oh no, okay, we're still alive, we're good. All right, so I just make sure we get the Prowlers. I couldn't see what just happened a second ago. It's chaos, in other words. So we'll have all the Prowlers imps, so now the Marauders go, and here's my chance. Here's my chance. Here's my chance. A shot at the doubles. Can you tell I'm tired? Oh man, so sticky spam all the way here. And this is just it. You just run around the arena. Like I said, I have one more thing I want to show you after this that I did not realize. When I was talking to chat, they were like, dude, how did you not see those? I saw one thing, but apparently there were like 3 that I was supposed to get, and there was no fodder in the room. I'm like, Jason, why you do this? Why you put no fodder in the room? And I mean, you put fodder on the 5 Marauder Easter egg that I found. Why not this one? Well, it turns out you're supposed to do something else, and I'll show you that here in a second. As you can see, I'm making copious usage of that chain gun shield to get out of the situation with the chainsaw trick I taught you about earlier. And I pretty much got boned right here almost, but thankfully I was able to get out. Pretty glad. Sucked to lose a UN run here for sure. But then, right there, perfect opportunity. Boom, boom. Use Dazed and Confused is nice. So when I just keep circling around, playing the circle game, I wanted to get the fodder frozen. Didn't work very well. I still have 2 Marauders, so at this point, I got a wide open shot. I'm like, hey, just sticky bombs. Leave him staggered. Your rockets also work. You can do remote deaths, or you can just shoot the ground. Anything to make sure that you get that hit in, right? Splash damage. Splash damage works wonders. And so you just keep spamming the stickies. If you can just hang in there long enough. The longer here's the thing though, the longer you're in a battle, the worse off you are in a way, because the more chance you have to screw up. But I knew I was getting close enough. I was able to pull off that combo on the Marauder there, come down here, and just try to pre-charge for the dog. See? Perfect, perfect, perfect. And just keep making my way around. As I finish off the Marauder here, I knew that with just one more left, it shouldn't be too bad. Stupid Prowler. This fight took me a while on UN because I just could not get an opening. That's what made this fight so hard. Then I knew he was there, and stomp. So let's take a look at a funny moment here. All right, this is one of the Come Back to It arenas. I didn't know where it was at first, but check it out right now. And I had a sub there. So this is a no super weapons run. I saw the Crucible right there, right? I didn't see any other ones behind it, so I just keep punching. I'm like, yo, dude, you should probably... Wait, where's fodder? And I check, you can't go back out that way. And I waste my ammo on the shield trying to stay safe. It's so narrow. Tyrants in Hallways reminds me of map 10 refueling base from Doom 2. I even made a post on it, my community page, talking about like, hey, look at the ancient gods. We put Tyrants in Hallways. Who would do that? Doom 2 did it. So it's another callback to the classics. I completely missed these Crucible charges. I didn't see them. I was too focused on survival, knowing I'm not using super weapons. And somebody was like, hey, well, maybe you can't do a no super run because of this section here. Well, you do have your melee, so you can't get out the back. This was not on my UN run, of course. This was my other normal run. I had 2 lives lost in the coin room. And I'm like, hey, I'm just going to sticky spam. 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, with 2 left, going for the GK. He's going to have a headache later. Why am I not talking about any more maps or areas? It's because it's 1:30 in the morning. I streamed this for 2 hours, and I'm tired. So I'm Allstin. Go to bed. I'll talk to you later. Watch these other videos here, okay? Bye-bye.